You lie back beneath the endless dark, eyes open to the soft drift of starlight overhead. The sky feels vast but near, like a blanket woven from centuries of breath and silence. Somewhere far beyond, you're seeing threads of gravity weave through everything, binding you gently to this earth, this moment, this thought. Above you, the stars are more than distant fires. They are lanterns hung on a net you cannot see, strung together by a force that never sleeps. Gravity is a quiet keeper, holding galaxies close, coaxing planets to circle suns, drawing moons to whisper across night skies. You sense it now, not as a weight, but as a soft, invisible hand resting on your shoulder, reminding you that you belong to something bigger than your tiny bones. If you close your eyes, you can feel how gravity tugs at your heart the same way it bends starlight. Imagine the earth beneath you, curving space so that even the straightest line dips toward the center. Every step you take, every breath is shaped by this secret pull. You float on this fabric without noticing it most days, yet it carries you like a hidden river. Think of the oceans, endlessly rising and falling in quiet surrender. The moon's gentle tug shapes the tides, coaxing water to lean in, then draw back. You stand on a shore of thought, watching waves of space and time push and pull. Gravity hums through your veins to a quiet echo of the tides inside your cells. It holds your blood to your bones, your feet to the ground, your mind to the stars high above. Black holes wait places where gravity speaks its loudest hush. These are regions where the pull grows so fierce that even light cannot slip away. Imagine falling endlessly inward, space folding tighter and tighter until it becomes a secret no eye can see. It sounds frightening, yet tonight it feels like a lullaby, soft, inevitable, calm. You breathe out and feel your weight settle deeper. The grass beneath you presses up to meet you as if the earth is whispering back. You wonder how this force came to be, gentle sculptor of orbits and galaxies. Long ago, in the young universe, dust and gas drifted close, drawn by this same whisper. They gathered, circled, and pressed together under gravity's spell until stars were born, burning in the darkness like new promises. In this hush, you are a child of gravity, too. Your body, made of ancient stardust, gathered by the same laws that bind moons to planets and planets to suns. You feel this connection as a steady warmth behind your ribs, a soft pulse that tells you you are never alone in the vastness. Even now, as you lie still, you move with the turning of the earth, spinning gently around the sun, which itself drifts through the arms of a spiral galaxy grand choreography, unfolding without hurry. Imagine looking deeper, seeing space not as empty, but as a fabric stretched and curved by every star and planet it holds. If you could reach out, you might trace the contours of this hidden cloth, fingers brushing the subtle folds where gravity gathers. The weight of a mountain, the drift of a feather both bend this fabric, shaping the pathways that light must follow. You are a traveler on these curved roads, carried by gravity's patient hand, and beyond this calm night, far away, black holes swirl in quiet secrecy. They are gravity's deepest secret, places where the fabric folds so sharply that it hides itself. You picture one now sphere of darkness surrounded by stars, its pull so strong that time itself slows to a soft crawl. Around it, starlight spirals inward like a golden river circling a drain, vanishing into the hushed dot. But tonight is not about falling, it is about listening. You lie still and hear the soft murmur of gravity in the rustle of leaves, the faint shift of your breath, the steady beat of your heart. All these tiny pulls and tugs add up to a silent chorus that has always been singing. You realize the space between your thoughts bends, too, curving with each memory, each dream. Your mind drifts to the planets that dance around distant suns, each one balanced on an invisible string, held steady by gravity's quiet promise. Worlds too far for your eyes to see, yet they move as you do, bound by the same hush that holds you here. Somewhere, a comet arches through the dark, pulled by the sun's distant hand. Somewhere, a galaxy leans into another, swirling like cream in coffee. Drawn close by gravity's patient embrace, you breathe in, feeling your chest rise against the sky. It is as if you are floating in a sea too vast to measure, buoyed by forces you can sense but not see. In this gentle ocean of pull and curve, your thoughts drift like leaves on a pond, circling slowly, finding quiet places to rest. For a moment, you imagine letting go of the Earth's surface, drifting upward into the ink-black sky. You would feel lighter, softer, the pull lessening until you float free among the stars. But gravity never truly lets go, only changes shape, its threads reaching out in ever wider circles, guiding you home no matter how far you wander. You turn your face toward the distant dark, where black holes wait with their secrets. You wonder what it would feel like to stand at the edge of one, to feel gravity not as a soft hum, but as a roar, pulling everything inward. The thought does not frighten you tonight. Instead, it calls you closer, inviting you to listen more deeply to the force that holds all things together beneath the sky. You close your eyes and sense the earth's weight and the stars' gentle pull blending into one quiet truth. Gravity is not a chain, but a cradle, not a prison, but a promise. It hums its story in your bones and dreams, a whisper that echoes through the ages. Tonight, you are part of this endless conversation. You are the dust that dances in moonlight, the thought that drifts between galaxies, the breath that rises and falls like a tide. Gravity holds you, and you hold it in your quiet mind, feeling the hush of its ancient song. You rest here, wrapped in the certainty that nothing drifts alone, that every star and planet is part of a larger embrace. The pull that tugs at you tonight is the same pull that shapes the birth and death of suns, the gentle hush that waits at the edge of darkness. You drift deeper into this thought, into the quiet folds of space, wondering where gravity leads when light can no longer follow. You feel the question bloom inside you, a soft ache of curiosity that tugs you toward a distant glow, where something bright is ready to say goodbye. Far across the sea of night, a star reaches the edge of its life. For millions of years, it burned with fierce brilliance, turning darkness into warmth, forging elements in its heart with every heartbeat of fusion. Now it trembles on the brink of silence. You picture it not as something that dies violently, but as a giant exhaling its last slow breath, a gentle letting go. Its glow softens, turning from white-hot to amber, then crimson, like embers cooling after a long fire. From your place on a quiet hill beneath this sky, you watch the light change, and you feel the hush settle over you. Every star carries within it a promise to burn, to warm, and to fade. In that fading, something beautiful is born. Heavy elements that once churned inside now drift outward, seeds for new worlds. Planets, moons, and even living creatures yet to come may trace their beginnings to this quiet farewell. You think of your own body, atoms of iron in your blood that likely began in such a star's last breath. The star's collapse is soft only in thought. In truth, it is a moment of unimaginable force. Gravity, patient and gentle until now, takes command. The star's outer layers drift away, like petals dropping one by one, and the core folds inward. Space itself wraps tighter, curving around this shrinking light until it becomes something new, something darker than dark, you imagine. What it might feel like to stand close, not too close to vanish, but near enough to feel the last heat on your face. The surface shudders, ripples spreading across oceans of plasma. Light, once pouring outward in every direction, wavers as if the star hesitates to shine or to surrender. The choice was never really a choice. It is gravity's final invitation, and so the star bows out. Its fading rays cross the light years, brushing past ancient comets and sleeping planets until they reach your waiting eyes. In that light, you see not an ending, but a soft transition from brightness into a deeper kind of existence. A star may become a white dwarf, a neutron star, or vanish entirely behind the veil of a black hole. Each fate carries mystery, but each begins with this same farewell. You hold this idea close, that endings in the cosmos are rarely sudden. Even collapse unfolds over time, measured in the slowing heartbeats of light. The universe does not rush its farewells. It gives even its greatest giants time to say goodbye. In your mind's eye, the last light leaves the star's edge, crossing space that grows more curved with every passing moment. Around it, gravity sculpts a sphere of darkness, an event horizon beyond which even hope cannot return. It sounds tragic, but you sense peace in it too. The star becomes a part of something larger, invisible yet profoundly present. You remember that without such deaths, the universe would remain plain hydrogen and helium. There would be no gold, no calcium, no life. Every cell in your body whispers gratitude for ancient stars that ended this way soft collapses, echoing through time to build everything you know. Somewhere, new stars are forming from clouds enriched by old ones. The cycle repeats, quiet and patient, overseen by gravity's soft hand. The universe keeps its promises slowly but surely, lying back under the night sky. You feel the warmth of that dying star, though it left its surface thousands or millions of years ago. Its light is older than your thoughts, yet it arrives just as you look up. In that meeting of past and present, you sense the tenderness of the cosmos, a place where nothing truly disappears, only changes form. A gentle breeze brushes your face like the ghost of starlight. You close your eyes and picture the stars' core, now so dense that a single teaspoon would outweigh mountains. Around it, space curls inward, folding into itself. The star that once lit worlds now becomes something hidden, silent, waiting. In that silence, you hear a promise. Nothing in this universe is wasted. The elements scatter into darkness to be gathered again. Even gravity's fiercest embrace is part of a grander story. Somewhere, a black hole's hunger is balanced by creation. Elsewhere, a new sun igniting in a cradle of dust and gas. You open your eyes, and the sky seems deeper than before. Among the glittering points, some have already gone dark, their last light still traveling toward you. You realize the night sky is a tapestry of living stars and echoes of the dead, all sewn together by invisible threads of gravity and memory. For a moment, your thoughts fall quiet. The dying star feels close, not as something lost, but as a guide. Its soft goodbye becomes a lullaby that settles in your chest. The warmth lingers, and so does the wonder. Far from the warmth of any sun, in a region where starlight dares not linger long, two black holes drift toward each other. Once, each was the final breath of a dying giant. Now, they are shadows, heavier than any star, moving in patient spirals. Across the cosmic stage, you picture them as dancers, massive, silent, shrouded in darkness, deeper than any night you've ever known. At first, they drift alone, each bending the space around it like a stone dropped into a pond. Their gravity calls out across the emptiness an invisible whisper only another black hole can hear. Slowly, over eons, they draw closer. At first, the pull is gentle, a distant promise. But as they spiral inward, their invisible embrace grows stronger. Space itself curves and tightens around them, a fabric gathering into folds. This is no ordinary orbit. This is a dance of immense patience and quiet power. From where you lie beneath your sky, you can almost feel their pull. Though they may be millions or billions of light years away, their motion tugs at the universe itself. Each step in their spiral sends ripples, tiny, trembling waves that roll outward at the speed of light, carrying news of this secret waltz. Scientists call these ripples gravitational waves. But tonight, you don't need equations or telescopes. You feel them like a soft vibration under your thoughts, like a heartbeat too faint to hear, but somehow known. Each wave is a whisper that space is not still, but alive, bending, stretching, humming. Picture the black holes as two whirlpools on a dark ocean. Their edges never touch water, yet the space around them churns. Their spin pulls stars off course, bends starlight into arcs, distorts time itself. You watch their paths tighten, circles becoming ellipses, ellipses folding into spirals. Each orbit stealing distance until only closeness remains. You wonder what it would be like to drift near them, to watch their dance up close. Would the darkness swallow you? Would time itself slip away? Near a black hole, seconds stretch like warm taffy heartbeat slows. Your thoughts lengthen. Moments linger in ways the mind can't measure. The closer the black holes spin to each other, the stranger time becomes. All around them, space wears this dance like a cloak. Stars at the edges of nearby galaxies may tremble slightly as the pair circle inward. Gas clouds may ripple as the gravity shifts their shape. Yet, out here in the void, no sound escapes, only the silent song of curved space. You close your eyes and let your thoughts spiral with them. Feel the hush, the tension, the promise in each tightening loop. There is something comforting in this slowness. So much of life rushes by, but here, in the dark, gravity teaches patience. It does not hurry. It waits for the perfect moment. Each orbit bleeds energy into the universe as those gravitational ripples slip away. With every lost drop of energy, the black holes draw closer, their paths tightening. Surrender to the pull that cannot be resisted. Maybe you think of two dancers under a dim light, circling each other in a room where music plays so softly you hear only their breathing. Their steps are measured, slow, but each step pulls them closer until the space between is nothing at all. In this cosmic ballroom, the black holes find each other not through sight or sound, but through the tug of pure gravity. You imagine what waits when the spirals become one. The final embrace is still far away, but you can sense it in the deep hush of the universe. There will come a moment when the distance between them is too small for separate shadows. They will fold into one darkness, more massive, more secret than before. And when they do, the ripples they send out will be strong enough to shake the universe's fabric like a drumbeat. No ear can hear, but all of space can feel. You think of Earth's teeny, blue, fragile floating somewhere in this same cosmic sea. Long ago, when the first black holes collided, their waves rolled outward, unnoticed by eyes or ears. Now, with careful instruments and patient listening, we catch these whispers, a tremor in a laser beam, a faint vibration through detectors buried deep in quiet ground. Each signal a reminder that the universe is always moving, always speaking in gravity's hidden tongue. But tonight, you don't need machines to feel the truth. You need only your quiet breath, your soft heartbeat. Somewhere out there, two black holes spiral closer, and in that closeness, you sense your own small place in this grand pattern. Time passes slowly here in this thought. Each circle brings the shadows nearer, each orbit tighter than the last. You wonder if, at the edge of one black hole's horizon, a lonely particle drifts, caught forever in the swirl. Unable to escape, yet never quite falling in. and endless. Dance within a larger dance. When the two shadows finally touch, it will not be an explosion of light. Instead, it will be the deepest husha merger, so silent that light itself vanishes behind the horizon. But the silence will not be empty. It will be full of motion and memory, an echo of all that came before. You breathe out, imagining the last moments before the collision. The spirals so tight they become a blur, the gravitational waves ringing out like ripples on a vast pond. The universe will know, even if you never see it. Space will hum with a memory of two shadows becoming one. In the ordinary world, time keeps its steady beat. A second here matches a second there. Your heart ticks along with the clock on your wall. The sunrise marks days. The seasons spin their patient wheel. But near a black hole, these familiar rhythms begin to slip away. You stand at the edge of this cosmic well, looking in. There is no ledge or fence, just the invisible boundary called the event horizon, a place where light itself gives up hope of escape. Cross that line, and the rules you trust dissolve into something stranger, softer, more haunting. Here, time slows. Not in the lazy, dreamy way of an afternoon nap, but in a deeper, relentless hush. The pull of gravity is so strong, it warps not just space, but the flow of seconds and minutes. The closer you drift toward the horizon, the more the universe beyond seems to speed away from you. A heartbeat at the brink might stretch for centuries in the eyes of a distant observer. A thought half formed in your mind might drift forever. If you could hover just outside that invisible boundaries, suspended by some impossible tether, you'd watch the universe age in fast forward while you linger, nearly frozen in your last blink. Imagine standing there, a lone figure balanced at the edge of the ultimate abyss. The stars beyond swirl in quiet chaos, but for you, their dance grows frantic colors stretching, lights shifting blue, then red as they twist away. Faraway galaxies live whole lifetimes in the pause between your breaths. You touch your chest and feel your pulse. It should comfort you, steady, human, familiar, but here it feels like an echo from another world. You are half here, half vanished into a place where time and space trade secrets. Your mind reaches for comparisons, a clock melting, a candle burning so slowly its flame seems frozen, but no image quite matches what the black hole does to time. It does not simply stretch, it bends it around itself, looping moments into knots so tight that only silence can slip through. Once, scientists dreamed of using this strange gift, What if you could fly near a black hole and come back to Earth? You'd find your old world changed, decades or centuries gone in what felt like hours to you. A one-way time machine carved not from gears and wires, but from curved space and stubborn gravity. Of course, to linger safely near that edge is a fantasy. Reality is less forgiving. The closer you drift, the fiercer the pull. The same force that stretches time also stretches you. If you fall too far, you become a thread pulled long and thin, spaghettified. They call it with a word that almost sounds silly until you imagine your atoms unraveling. But tonight, you are safe, drifting here only in thought. You feel the hush, the weightless tug at the edge of everything known. It is not frightening, it is quieting. Here, you glimpse how fragile your usual seconds are, how delicately stitched your minutes and hours beyond the event horizon. What happens is pure conjecture. Maybe time stops altogether. Maybe it loops endlessly inside, moments folding in on themselves like origami. Secrets sealed forever in gravity's hush. You wonder if you could watch from some impossible perch. Would you see your own ending drawn out to infinity? Would you become a ghost made of stretched seconds, a whisper of time circling the edge? You listen to your breath. Each inhale and exhale feels wider here, as if even your lungs have learned to slow down, to sip eternity in careful drafts. You imagine astronauts passing near this boundary, their signals drifting back to Earth, voices stretched thin, messages that take centuries to finish a single word. You picture an explorer who dares one step too far. For them, the fall is quick inside. All paths lead deeper, faster, darker, okay. But for you, watching from a safe distance, their last wave never ends. They hover forever at the edge, frozen in goodbye. Not everything about this place is loss. The black hole does not just devour, it reminds you how flexible reality can be. That time which you grip so tightly in calendars and clocks is not as rigid as it seems. It bends, it flexes, it dances with gravity's pull. It is more like breath than stone, soft, changeable. A live dot, you lie back on your imaginary perch near the horizon and let your thoughts drift. In the stretched silence, you sense a kind of freedom. If seconds can stretch and slip, maybe moments of sorrow do too. Maybe regrets lose their edge. Maybe memories last longer than you think, lingering on the curved folds of space long after you've forgotten them. One final look across this strange edge, the swirling disk of matter falling in, bright with light that never escapes. Beyond that, the pure dark where time stops, secrets hide, and the universe learns to fold its own pages shut, you pull back from the brink. Heartbeat steady once more, seconds falling into place like rain on a quiet roof. But a part of you stays behind, hovering in that stretched hush, listening to the soft unraveling of time as it slips into the deep. Far from any sun, where light is shy to wander, the two black holes keep circling each other in a perfect hush. Their dance has no music, yet every step is written in gravity's hidden language, a choreography older than any star you imagine. This dance unfolding on a floor that is not really a floor at all, but space itself stretched, curved, ready to be shaped. Each massive body presses down on this fabric, bending it gently at first, then deeper, like two weights sinking into a soft sheet. Where their dents meet, they begin to swirl. This swirling is the dance, not fast at first, but steady and patient. Their orbits are not circles, not really. Each path wobbles slightly, a soft imperfection that makes the dance alive. With each pass, they steal distance from one another, shedding energy in faint whispers of gravitational waves that drift outward, like ripples from stones dropped into a pond you cannot see. You picture the black holes as dancers dressed in shadow. There is no light here to reflect off a surface, no edge to catch a gleam. Instead, you see them by the way they bend what's around them, the flickering glow of gas or dust that may still drift near, caught in the swirl but never daring. Too close, their steps pull the universe into their rhythm. Space stretches with every turn. Time trembles just outside the event horizon. If you could stand nearby, safely somehow, you might watch them loop around each other tens of times. In a single heartbeat, if your heartbeat could still measure such things near this gravity, no one command directs them. There is no conductor with a baton. The dance is guided by the simple truth of mass and distance and the way space-time answers their weight. Gravity does not shout. It persuades with the softest voice, the most patient touch. And so, the two shadows keep circling, pulled inward by every swirl of their invisible skirts. Sometimes you wonder if they ever resist. If somewhere deep in the math that governs their spin, there's a tiny plea to break free. But the truth is, black holes do not fight the pull. They surrender to it completely, folding their paths tighter with every orbit, giving away their secrets ripple by ripple until nothing is left but union. Their choreography is not a dance of light, but it is full of motion, the swirling disk of matter around them. If they still have such a disk, glows fiercely, heated by the furious spin. That light escapes, but the shadows themselves do not. They remain invisible except for the waves they send out, tremors in the fabric of everything. You think about how far these waves travel. Some slip past sleeping stars, ripple through gas clouds, drift across empty voids for millions of years before they find an ear sensitive enough to hear them. Here on Earth, scientists build quiet machines to catch the faintest hint, lasers bouncing between mirrors, so precise they can feel the tiny quiver when a gravitational wave brushes by. When that happens, the dance reveals itself for an instant. A soft signal that says two giants are spinning down, closer, closer, ready to merge. It is like hearing the last notes of a song no human voice ever sang. You close your eyes and let the thoughts swirl with them. Maybe this is the universe's true heartbeat, not the tick of seconds, but the slow hush of these spirals. A reminder that nothing drifts forever alone. Even in the deepest dark, there is always another body to find, another orbit to trace, another embrace waiting when the circles shrink enough to meet. If you could stand inside this dance, what would you feel? Would your mind bend the way space bends? Would your heartbeat match the swirl, a slow drum rolling faster as the shadows spin tighter? Would you hear a whisper, not of sound, but of time folding, seconds twisting into something longer, deeper? The black holes do not rush. Even now, when they are close enough that their horizons almost touch, the final steps come softly. Each orbit pulls them inward by the smallest breath. But small things matter here. A tiny loss of distance now means a vast change soon. The closer they spin, the stronger their tug. A feedback loop that gathers itself into inevitability. Somewhere in that spiral is the story of everything else. Galaxies twist for the same reason. Stars form, drift apart, collide, and fold into themselves. Even your own body feels a gentler echo of this hidden pull, the same gravity that holds oceans to the shore, that keeps your feet pressed to the dirt as you look up and wonder all around you. Life moves at human speed. You measure time in days, years, lifetimes, but this dance laughs at such small clocks. It moves in centuries, eons, distances so vast they make your heart stumble when you try to picture them. And yet, at its heart, it is simple to shadows, circling closer, step by patient step. When they finally touch, it will not be a collision the way you know collisions, not like cars or stones or waves on rock. It will be a folding. Two horizons meet and blend. Two masses become one, heavier than before, darker than before, hidden deeper than before. The final step in the dance is not an explosion of light, but a deeper silence that wraps all secrets. Inside, you open your eyes and breathe out, feeling the hush settle on your chest. Maybe you understand something new, that the universe writes its greatest stories in the quietest ways, that the biggest events leave behind only whispers, that sometimes the only proof of a secret dance is the faint ripple it sends to a far off. Sure, tonight you listen for those ripples. You let the secret choreography swirl through your thoughts, spinning your own worries into smaller orbits. Somewhere in the dark, two black holes circle closer. Somewhere, gravity's patient hand prepares the final embrace. It begins with a hush so deep it seems like nothing at all. But in truth, it is the quietest thunder the universe can make. When the two black holes finally touch, their horizons blur together, folding into one perfect darkness. No light bursts free, no roar breaks the void. Yet something enormous stirs. The very fabric of space shivers. This is the moment when the spiral ends. The patient orbits, the tightening dance, all of it gives way to a single embrace. To become one, heavier than before. Secrets tucked away behind a horizon no eye will ever see through. In that instant, they release their final ripple, gravitational waves. Born from pure motion, rush outward at the speed of light. You might think these waves would roar like an ocean storm. But they do not roar, they whisper. They slide through the darkness without needing air to carry them. They do not shake your walls or rattle the stars apart. Instead, they stretch and squeeze space itself so gently that only the most delicate ears can hear them. You close your eyes and imagine catching one of these ripples. If you could ride it, you would feel the universe swell and settle like a calm breath. You would drift on a wave made not of water, not of sound, but of reality itself, stretching and relaxing. Each crest and trough tells a story. Two shadows met here. Two giants folded into one. Remember, far away on earth, patient instruments wait for this hush. Great arms of laser light sleep in the dark, perfectly still, hoping for a tremor so small. It shifts a distance by less than the width of an atom. When the wave arrives, the laser dances barely, briefly, and in that trembling line of light, humans glimpse the hidden conversation of black holes. It is strange to think how small that shiver is compared to the force that caused it. The merging black holes might weigh as much as millions of suns. Their final spiral releases more energy in a blink than all the stars in a galaxy shine in years. And yet, by the time that echo washes over your planet, it feels like a feather drifting past your skin. Still, it is enough to prove that space is not still. Enough to remind you that the night sky is alive with secrets too deep for eyes. Alone. Enough to make you wonder what other ripples slip past unnoticed while you sleep. Tonight, you let yourself drift on these waves. You picture them rolling outward forever, brushing past drifting asteroids, whispering through cold gas clouds, nudging starlight off its straight path by a hair's breadth. Every place they pass remembers for a moment the hush of the collision. You lie back, feeling your thoughts rock with the swell. There is something comforting in this idea that even when darkness collides with darkness, the result is not destruction alone, but a message sent to the farthest corners of the universe. Nothing drifts alone. Everything leaves a trace, a ripple, a quiet note in a song too wide for any single mind to hold. The first people to hear these waves were not astronomers with telescopes, but dreamers with equations and stubborn hope. They imagined a day when humanity could listen to the hush, not just the light. They built quiet machines in forests and deserts, places far from the rumble of cities, so that Earth's noisy heartbeat would not drown out the universe's softer ones. When the machines finally caught a wave, it was like hearing a ghost knock gently at the door of reality. Not an explosion, not a shout, just a tiny nudge that said, "We are out here. We have always been out here. We will always be out here." You think about all the waves that came before, all the collisions Earth never heard. Black holes folding into each other long before your species learned to listen. Ripples slipping past without so much as a whisper. To anyone, the universe has always been busy with its hidden dances. It does not hurry. It does not mind if you miss the first 1,000 songs. There will always be another dot in your mind. You drift farther. You ride the ripple out into the deeper dark. Galaxies slide by like distant lanterns. Quasars flicker at the edges of time. The ripple never tires. It rolls on, pulling you with it. You are weightless, timeless, rocked in the hush that once wrapped to giants as they became one. Somewhere in that darkness, more black holes circle each other, preparing for their own final spin. Somewhere, new ripples are waiting to be born. The universe hums with these possibilities, the same way your chest hums with your breath. You wonder if far in the future, some other listener, human or something new, will tune their ear to space and catch the faint echoes of this same hush. Maybe they will wonder who was here to dream of it first. Maybe they too will lie back under a quiet sky and feel the comfort of knowing that even in the deepest dark, something moves, something reaches out, something whispers, "Remember, you breathe in, then out." The ripple carries you gently, a cosmic cradle rocking you toward rest. The stars overhead seem a little softer, their light blurred by the thought that nothing is still. Not the night, not you, not the ancient secrets tucked behind horizons. No light can slip past. You listen once more. Somewhere in that ripple, the universe sighs, not in grief, but in quiet celebration of what it means to fold, to merge, to send a whisper through the endless dark. The moment has come, the final step in the cosmic dance, where two black holes, once circling patiently, now surrender fully to each other's pull. They merge in a quiet collision that reshapes the very fabric of space and time. This is no explosion of fire and light. Instead, it is a deep folding, a weaving together of darkness so complete that the boundary between the two vanishes. They become one, a single shadow, heavier than before, a new giant, hidden, imagine, space bending like soft fabric pressed under a new weight, curving deeper and folding in tighter. The merger creates a knot so profound it echoes across the universe. This knot is not just mass, it is memory and energy entwined. A secret written in gravity's language. You feel this moment not as noise, but as a gentle aurora vibration, deep inside the core of existence. It is the universe breathing in, holding itself still for a heartbeat, then sighing softly as the new black hole settles into its place around this new giant. The surrounding space ripples outward. Gravitational waves rush forth, carrying the story of the merger far beyond the reach of stars and planets. These ripples travel silently but powerfully, weaving through galaxies and crossing the vast emptiness. You imagine riding these waves like a gentle tide, carried slowly outward. With each pulse, the universe remembers the moment two shadows became one. The memory travels far, touching everything, even you, like a soft embrace. This quiet roar is not just an end. It is also a beginning. The new black hole will grow, gathering dust, gas, and even stars into its fold. It may someday merge again, continuing the endless cycle of cosmic dance and transformation. As you reflect, you realize the merger teaches something profound about change. It need not be violent or loud to be powerful. Sometimes the deepest transformations come wrapped in silence, woven from patience, gravity, and the slow folding of space. You lie back beneath the night sky, feeling the hush settle on your chest. The stars shimmer softly, as if whispering, a secret that only those who listen closely can hear. That in the darkest places, life moves gently, and even the quietest roars shape the universe. You stand at the brink where the known universe fades into a shadow so deep it swallows even light. This is the event horizon, the point of no return, the boundary beyond which everything changes. Crossing it means stepping into a realm where space and time fold into themselves, a place that defies your usual understanding of reality. Imagine stepping past the horizon. What do you find? No stars, no colors, no familiar laws, only darkness, thicker than any night you've ever known. But this darkness is not empty. It hums with possibilities, a quiet sea of unknowns where the universe's deepest secrets are tucked away. Here, time might loop, fold, or stop altogether. Moments stretch into infinity or collapse into singularity. It is a place beyond clocks and calendars, beyond past and future. A realm where everything you thought certain becomes a question. You wonder if consciousness could survive such a journey. Would thoughts unravel or deepen? Would memories echo endlessly or fade into the silence? These questions drift like ghosts across your mind, intangible yet impossible to ignore. Scientists theorize about what lies beyond, perhaps a tunnel to another universe, a hidden dimension folded inside our own, or the core of reality itself. The event horizon is a veil, a whisper of mystery that invites both awe and fear. Despite the unknown, you feel drawn to this edge. It is a frontier not just of space, but of imagination and understanding. It challenges you to think beyond the limits and accept that some truths may always remain out of reach. You breathe deeply and imagine the journey inward, past the horizon, where the universe keeps its quietest stories. It is a place of stillness and transformation, a reminder that the cosmos is vast, not only in size, but in mystery. Asterisk. Gravity is the universe's gentle sculptor, invisible hand that shapes galaxies, pulls planets into orbit, and guides stars. Through their silent journeys, you feel its presence not by sight, but through the way things move and settle. How bodies drift and dance across the cosmic stage. Imagine gravity as a whisper threading through space, soft but persistent. It is not a sudden force, but a patient one, working over eons to craft the vast structures we see. Without it, stars would scatter, planets would float lost, and the universe would be a cold, empty scatter of atoms. Even on Earth, gravity holds you close, grounding your every step. It is the quiet pulse beneath your feet, steady and constant. Though invisible, its touch is felt in every breath. Every heartbeat across the cosmos, gravity weaves invisible threads connecting everything. Black holes bended most fiercely, curving. Space and time, like a master artist, folds cloth. They send ripples, gravitational waves that ripple through space, telling stories of collision and union. You imagine yourself tracing these threads. Two galaxies and galaxies, two clusters. Gravity's whisper is the language of connection, a reminder that nothing exists truly alone. Tonight, beneath the starry sky, you feel gravity's quiet power in your chest and bones. It is a force that shapes not only the cosmos, but the very essence of your being, silent, unyielding guide through the vastness of existence. Asterisk, life's blueprint lies deep within you, written in the elegant script of the genetic code. This sequence of molecules holds instructions for every cell, every breath, every heartbeat. It is far older and more cosmic than it first appears. Imagine the genetic code as a language shared across time and space, a message passed down through billions of years. It connects you not only to your ancestors, but to the very stars that forged the elements making up your body. The atoms in your DNA were born inside ancient stars, their fiery cores fusing elements that would become carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, building blocks of life. Each gene, each molecule whispers a story of creation woven through the cosmos. Scientists today read this code to unlock mysteries of health, evolution, and identity. They use tools like CRISPR to edit life's script, nudging its flow toward healing and transformation. The code is not fixed. It is a living language, changing with each generation. You picture the double helix spiraling gently, a cosmic staircase, carrying life upward through time. It is both delicate and powerful, a connection between the microscopic world inside you and the vast universe outside. Tonight, as you breathe beneath the stars, you carry this code within you, a living link to every creature, every planet, every star. The genetic code is a cosmic melody sung softly in molecules and light, timeless and alive. Asterix life on Earth begins with a quiet miracle unfolding in the green depths of leaves. Photosynthesis. This ancient dance transforms sunlight into the energy that fuels every living thing you know. Imagine sunlight streaming down, photons striking delicate cells, igniting chemical reactions that weave light into sugar. It is nature's alchemy, turning pure energy into food, oxygen, and life itself. This process is older than humanity, older than most animals, a gift from early plants that captured the sun's power and shared it with the world. It breathes life into forests, oceans, and fields, powering the chains of life in endless cycles. You breathe in deeply and feel connected to this green pulse, the rhythm of photosynthesis that fills the air with oxygen, the very breath you take. It is a quiet gift, taken for granted, yet vital beyond a measure. Across the globe, plants and algae keep this dance alive. They turn light into nourishment, linking sun and soil, water and air in an endless exchange. Without them, the world would be silent and still, starved of energy. Tonight, under a sky full of stars born in distant furnaces, you feel the ancient power of photosynthesis in your lungs, your cells, your very being. It is a cosmic cycle, a breath that ties you to sunlit leaves and the endless sky. Asterisk, inside your body, a secret universe thrives, a vast community of microbes known as the microbiome. Though invisible to the naked eye, these tiny creatures play a powerful role in your health, mood, and even your identity. Imagine trillions of bacteria, fungi, and viruses living together in harmony, each playing a unique part. They digest food, fight illness, and communicate with your immune system in a language still being discovered. This ecosystem within is as complex and dynamic as any forest or ocean. It shifts with your diet, your environment, your experiences. It learns, adapts, and influences you in ways you can barely imagine. Scientists are only beginning to understand this inner world. Research reveals connections between microbiome imbalances and diseases, from allergies to mental health. The microbiome is a frontier of hope and healing, a partner in your journey toward wellness. You breathe deeply and feel gratitude for this unseen community. It is a reminder that you are not alone even within yourself. Life thrives in connection and cooperation. Tonight, beneath the stars, you carry this inner universe with you, a microcosm of life's endless dance, whispering secrets of balance and resilience through every cell. Asterisk, beyond the familiar glow of our sun lie countless exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars. Worlds of endless variety scattered across the galaxy. Each is a story waiting to be told, a new chapter in the universe's vast and unfolding book. Imagine looking up at a night sky filled with stars, each one potentially hosting its own family of planets. Some may be rocky and warm, others icy or storm-racked. Some could harbor oceans or thick atmospheres, while others may be barren rocks spinning silently in the void. Scientists search these distant worlds, hunting for signs of life or clues to how planets form and evolve. They listen for faint signals, measure tiny wobbles in stars, and capture glimpses of alien skies with powerful telescopes. You imagine standing on the surface of an exoplanet. What would you see? Strange skies painted with unfamiliar colors, sunsets that linger longer or vanish too quickly, stars unfamiliar but just as bright. Could life exist there? Could something be watching the same stars, wondering about you? These distant planets remind you of the universe's endless possibilities. They are invitations to dream beyond your world, to wonder what else might be out there, waiting to be discovered. Tonight, as you gaze up at the stars, you carry the hope and mystery of exoplanets with you, a reminder that the cosmos is larger and more wondrous than any single sky can hold. Asterisk, deep below the crust of our planet, immense chambers of molten rock gather energy, feeding forces vast enough to reshape the world above. These are supervolcanoes giants that sleep quietly, holding centuries or millennia of power in their grasp. Imagine standing on solid ground, unaware that miles beneath you, a glowing sea of magma pulses with slow heat and pressure. This force builds silently, stretching the Earth's crust and waiting for the moment it will roar. When a supervolcano erupts, it does so with unimaginable power. Ash clouds can blot out the sun, cooling the planet and changing climates. Landscapes can be buried, rivers diverted, skies filled with fire and shadow. Yet these giants rarely awaken. Their slumber is patient and deep. They remind us that Earth itself is alive and dynamic, constantly shifting beneath our feet. Scientists study supervolcanoes carefully, tracking subtle changes and tremors to better understand these sleeping giants. Their work helps us prepare for the rare but powerful moments when Earth reshapes itself. You breathe deeply and feel the slow pulse of the planet beneath you, a vast rhythm, older than human memory. It is a reminder of nature's scale, its patience and its power. Tonight, beneath the stars, you carry the quiet strength of these ancient giants with you, a force that teaches endurance, change, and the deep connection between earth and sky. Asterisk, everywhere you look. Entropy weaves its subtle thread, a measure, a gentle nudge to war, change. It is the universe's way of reminding us that nothing stays the same, that all things move from order into chaos and back again in an endless, flowing dance. Imagine a tidy room slowly becoming messy without effort, or a cup of hot coffee cooling into the quiet stillness of room temperature. These simple examples are glimpses of entropy at work, guiding energy and matter toward balance. On a cosmic scale, entropy governs stars burning out, galaxies spreading, and even the eventual fate of the universe itself. It shapes time's arrow, pushing moments forward, never backward. Though entropy may seem like decay or loss, it is also the seed of transformation. From disorder can come new patterns, new forms, new life. It is a cycle, not just an end. You feel entropy's presence in your own life, in growth, aging, memories fading, and the way change flows through every moment. It teaches acceptance of impermanence and the beauty of cycles. Tonight, as you lie beneath the stars, you carry entropies. Whisper within a quiet force that shapes the past, present, and future in a single breath.